There are 23 seasons in Sky Children of the Light, coming up to 24, but I choose not to recognize that yet because that's not a thing. And I'm recording this in November, so that has to be a pass, right? I'll only be explaining 19 due to the fact that the seasons of Gratitude, Light Seekers, Belonging, and Rhythm don't have actual quests, so that means we start with the Season of Enchantment. The Season of Enchantment was the first ever season to have a quest line and a season guide who remained in the game as a quest giver after. There we're introduced to the first ever quest, the first ever introduction that you could say to the game that is Sky Children of the Light, the game that would go on to win many awards, the game that had one of the best communities in all of gaming, most likely. That's right, the game with— You gotta go catch them lights. Yeah. Anyway, these lights, once returned back to the enchantment guide, would change the area, bringing water, air, even though the arc is quite literally broken in half, so... Alright, the decoration of it, and the art of togetherness. That's some good shit right there. The Season of Sanctuary was the first to introduce treasure candles in its seasonal area, along with the Sanctuary Islands. It went from July 13th to the 21st of September. You like that? You like? No? Okay. It's kind of the same thing as the Season of Enchantment, but there are puzzles. No, there was puzzles in there. But it's kind of the same thing, you know? It's kind of, it has the same effect, kind of, but just in a different place. All ending in the sweet embrace of togetherness. Again. The Season of Prophecy, lasting 70 days, came with the trials. It changed the number of spirits from 6 to 4, causing the prices to increase due to that fact. Okay? Even though, like, 2 spirits less, so I guess. Alright, okay. The prophecy guide just tells us to suffer from a range of parkour, more parkour, being blind but with monsters, and whatever headache in a can the air trial brings to the broken table. The Season of Prophecy isn't really a quest thing, it's just like a big challenge, which is fine because it brought a lot of content and that one pants that everyone seems to love. So if I was doing a ranking video, Season of Prophecy all the way up. The Season of Dreams is the first season that contains 2 seasonal areas instead of 1. I really do feel like the fun facts are getting less cool now. The Season of Dreams is a girl wanting to live out her dream and skating, and that's pretty much it. And she does get her wish. The community seems to have a very positive effect on the season, and that's cool. I don't need to say it was beautiful. You know it was beautiful because, you know, Sky, but seriously, there's really nothing much to say about it. I've been trying to do this quest for 5 months. That's right, 5 months. That's quite literally half my time playing Sky. Can you even fathom that? It's not even that hard of a quest. It's just annoying as shit. I can't find nobody, absolutely 0 people to do this. And the times I do, guess what? I suddenly have 0 friends online, like they all just decided to collectively say they don't want to help me do this. I have 2 hours of footage of me just sitting there, waiting patiently. 2! They can at least let me bring a bell or something to let people know I'm actually there, because regular honking isn't doing anything. And the thing is, I have more! There's 1 more hour after that! So the Season of Assembly is, you repairing a treehouse. Yeah, that's actually pretty much, yeah, alright, yeah, that's poorly explained enough right there, yeah. The Season of the Little Prince was the first ever collaboration and the first season to have an area that requires an in-app purchase. God bless America for that. The Season of the Little Prince is one of my most favorite quests, but I'm sure you won't be able to tell. So the quest starts off with you going to an absolutely beautiful area. It's like if God took a shit on your land. There you meet a mysterious person that seems to want to show you something. Is it a kidnap attempt, you think to yourself? No, it's not. Instead, he shows you the beautiful scenery, the stars that are by no means affected by light pollution. The childlike innocence shines through when he instantly brings us to a garden of some sort just to solely ask us to play hide and seek, even laughing when he's found and not being a little bitch and getting mad, even doing a little dance. After a few more rounds, the mood suddenly changes, almost like he's been having too much fun and remembering he has an objective to find his friend. Introducing the Rose. These scenes with the Rose has to be top 3 most moving for me in the whole game. The music, the metaphor of the rose itself, the meaning behind it. Even though this rose isn't perfect, it isn't the absolute most prettiest thing in the world. The prince goes out of his way, more than out of his way, going at great length, traveling through different realms as we see in each quest. It shows how much he's devoted to it. If you haven't realized, it's like a metaphor for relationships. I find it absolutely amazing. The scenery, the soundtrack carries so much. I can't say that enough. It makes everything so much better. The only thing I hated about the season of Little Prince was the end. That's the only thing I found that just annoyed me. I forgot I put poorly explained in the title. Hey, you know what? Shut up. It's my video. I'm keeping it in the video. It's my video. I can do whatever I want. Did I play this? I'm not even sure if I played this. Actually, I'm gonna check. Oh, I did not. Okay. Alright, so we're helping light stingrays get free even though the bigger manta ray could do it himself, all while a person cheers us on. I'm not sure what else to say there. Was it really a whole quest like the Little Prince season? Even though I heavily favorited that one. I'm so sorry. The Season of Abyss was the first ever season to introduce diving mechanics. Located in Treasure Reef, this season focuses on you and a group of explorers, I think, finding treasures. You sometimes coming in second place and losing to a spirit. Somehow, the Season of Abyss turns from a nice, scenic scavenge quest, and then you suddenly realize you're meeting a creature that was formed from the deepest depths of Eden, or just plain hell, the devil's pet, instantly triggering fear in most people, especially the people with thalassophobia. Your character seeing that suddenly thinks, I wonder what this does. His dumbass, knowing there's a big door right there, pulls it, inviting old Big Bertha inside. Why, you may be asking? Well, we'll just take a look at where TGC puts the feedback. The same spirit that tried to save us earlier died, I think. Big old Bertha swallows us, but we come up because of the power of friendship, and then we happily live our lives ever after, I think is how the saying, I'm not sure. The season of performance was definitely an interesting change up on how they did seasons, and what I mean by that is, not making it a fetch quest or, I don't know, whatever the season of assembly was. It is pretty much a group of ragtag individuals by the name of Clue the Cat, Red the Red, 80s hair guy with a guitar, Red the Red Person, and many more, all trying to make a cool play. Did I mention they get cold feet? Yeah, they get stage fright in front of like 10 people. So we can already see they have a great future ahead of them. But in the end, they do pull it off, and they do get the crown back to the Bikini Bottom. The season of Shattering is just doing shard quests. That's really it. I don't know how people... How do people find this fun? It's so annoying how the only thing interesting about this is the last quest. And of course the visuals, but you knew that. But still, the last quest, because it just gives a bit of lore. Is it even worth it though? Is it worth it doing all of that when you could just look it up on YouTube? Like, I guess the experience isn't the same. I think it's just me. I think people just don't mind it. But I don't know how people find this fun. Anyway, this is not the point of the video. Once done with the shard side of the quest, then you take the option to teleport to the area. You'll see droplets of lore through murals. What are the elders doing to that big shard? Do you think they ever use the whales as war animals? That's a lot of mantas. Does it help the normal Sky player to understand the game's lore? I can't answer that. So TGC decided to collaborate with the singer Aurora, fusing absolutely amazing songs with fantastic visuals. It's just great. Really couldn't hate on it, but there isn't really much to say about it here, because, I mean, there was a story, but there isn't. But there is, I don't know, but just imagine 10,000 Sky people going rabid before, during, and after every song, including me. It's depression. The Season of Passage puts you into the Isle of Dawn, but in the night, and calling several people that seem to have came out of literally nowhere. They see the grown-up guy wearing the cool mask and go, I want that, but I don't want to do work. They gotta do work. Because the true passage was the friends we made along the way, and that's a tune we can all have a mental breakdown to. The Season of Moments. Do you realize how I'm not giving any fun facts anymore? Because there are literally none to give. You know what? I'll actually give you one right now. Okay, alright. This one is unsupported from the wiki. It added the camera prop. Wait, no, fuck. I'm not trying to make any fun of any quest in this video except for the assembly and shattering. I will stay true to that. I hate both of those. Anyway. You put on a construction hat. You construct some humans. You construct a haircut. You construct the 34-ton paper boat. You construct the sun. You construct the all-new 2024 Toyota Fortuna. You opened the gates to hell. You rode the Hasselhoff, and you came back. I do have a fun fact about this one. I started at some time here. Can't remember specifically, but I did. So that's cool. That's cool. Whether I knew what was happening at the time was a different story, though. But this season was, interestingly, also TGC's third collaboration. I don't even think I need to search the quest up to remember. I think I can remember it all by myself and explain it poorly while I'm at it. So our Sky Kid decides to roam around the deep valleys of absolutely nowhere for some unknown reason. We try to make our way up, but Peter decides to jump us, and unknown to him, the magical golden deer gives him the old wallop, saving us even though we were pretty much already knocked, but hey, better late than never, I guess. The kingdom that is pretty much right next to the lake where the deer likes to hang around seems to have taken an interest to the magical deer that saves them from the dark creatures. Let's actually rerun that. They want to take away and lock up a mythical creature that legitimately protects your whole kingdom or village, whatever, from dark creatures. I mean, if we were looking at it realistically, I mean, there has to be some knowledge passed down that the deer actually protected them from. Whatever. I'm nitpicking. Okay, we see a hunter failing miserably, I might add, catching an airborne manta. He fails and he drowns, I think. So anyway, the deer are now exhausted because they had to go revive all the other animals because they got their shit rocked by the cells blocking the enzymes and receptors in the body. If you didn't understand that at all, poison. But the deer heals him anyway because he's a nice guy. And what does the hunter do with this newfound life? Well, I think we should take that back up to the game. Welcome back to another episode of And The Show presents The Show. The Show. We got 4 answers on the board. What does the human do after the deer heals him? We got 1. He pleads to the emperor to stop hunting the deer. 2. He smokes weed and plays Burnout Revenge on the PS2. 3. He politely murders everyone in the village. 4. Greed and betrayal. What do you choose? I lock in number 2. He smokes weed and plays Burnout Revenge on the PS2. No, why would you ever think that? Oh, then I'm assuming it's just 4 then, because humans? No, yeah. So he betrays him and tells the emperor it's time to attack because he's weak. But don't you worry, we perform a top-tier heist to get him back with a full-fledged team of athletes. The original hunter who betrayed the deer in the first place feels bad because... sense, I guess. Our character forgives him, but I will never. But after we go through all that trouble and we get him back, he leaves. And that is the most realistic part, right next to the greed of man. He decides these humans are pretty terrible, and he just skedaddles. Introduced, nests that the player could fully decorate with furniture. I'm not even sure if this even had, like, a story or not that I can explain. I think it was just doing challenges, so... can't really report much. But, she does have glasses. And she does look cool. The season of duets shows a male and a female. Every time I ask what they are exactly, people say it's up to my interpretation, so I'm gonna just say that they like each other. As the quest goes on, we learn a few things. They've known each other since they were young children. They built their way up the ladder themselves. They have the skills and confidence to perform flawlessly. They get brutally targeted by a stray asteroid. But this is probably one of the most beautifully crafted seasons in terms of development of the characters. Not gonna talk about that one part in the end. And in the end, they all come together, overcoming their past troubles, and realize that they have each other. Enter fireworks and makeout scene. And finally, the season of Movement, the current season at the time of me doing this. The 4th collaboration with TGC. In the depressed grey world that is this one, a girl that is completely invisible finds a group of elephant hippo wolves where it turns from a wholesome family of walking hippos, a guy that just randomly shows up, and another depressed guy trying to make the invisible girl, Ninny, that's her name, didn't forget. So it turns from a wholesome, feel-good thing to a creepy, haunting, horror-type film with added spice, death, and some inspiration from Big Ol' Bertha. And that's pretty much it. I've been recording this for 40 minutes now, so yeah, I got absolutely nothing else to say. Bye.